Welcome to Groups this week. As a church, we exist to help all people become fully devoted followers of Jesus. And we believe doing life together is a crucial part of that journey. Now, during this time, we're going to unpack and dig deeper into the sermon we've heard this past week. Let's dive in as we continue to grow in our faith, knowledge, and love of Jesus together. Well, hello everyone. Daniel here with David, Pastor Reverend Dr. David Wood. So David, we're going through Luke, and this past week we were on Luke 8, verses 1 to 15, where Jesus is sharing the parable of the sower.
That's right.
And so maybe David, can you just
hang on. I seem to recall that I wasn't the only one who preached this.
Yeah, that's true.
I seem to remember there was someone else who preached this, and that was you. And so you know all about the parable of the sower, right?
I think as much
I'm
as I can.
going to ask the questions.
Okay, guys.
For a change.
Bear with me.
Yeah,
Promise.
yeah. It's all set up for you there. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
So, Daniel, Reverend Daniel, soon. Yeah. Almost? Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Soon. I have some questions about Jesus' teaching about the parable of the sower. Now, it comes across as a pretty ordinary story. Like there's a huge crowd. They're all gathered to hear Jesus.
Yeah.
People from all the towns, including farmers. And Jesus tells a story of seed that's planted that some grows, some doesn't grow, some gets choked out by weeds. That's the story. So why do you think Jesus tells such an ordinary story?
Good question, David. Well, I remember I asked this pastor the other day, and he quoted Eugene Peterson.
Yeah.
And Eugene Peterson kind of talks about how Jesus talks in slants.
Yeah.
Right, where he tells a story that is just so common, but for a specific purpose, to kind of get around
people's defenses.
Yeah. Right.
I think that's one of the reasons why he speaks in parables. It does, because people will listen to the parable and be like, yeah, okay, and then they'll walk away. It's like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
And it gets around your defenses.
Yeah, or it weeds out the people who are just not interested in general.
Weeds out. I see what you did there, like
Nice.
parable of the sower. So he tells a story.
Yeah.
Walk through the story.
So basically we're kind of we're just leaving the scene where Jesus just had dinner with Simon the Pharisee, and the sinful woman is referred to, and as we see there, we kind of see Jesus exposing kind of the shallowness of this religious leader, Simon, right? And now we move into Luke 8, 1 to 15, with this where he's come to expose the shallowness of the crowds.
Interesting. That's good.
And so he tells this story to this big crowd that's gathered about the farmer, and kind of what you said is probably the most degular story they could have ever heard.
Yeah.
And almost like, okay, well, we came so far to come see you, Jesus, like, and this is all you have to tell me? Like, I can just imagine them kind of like listening to the story and they're responding like,
Yeah, it's like about a farmer, except at the very end, right? And this is where like you just see you're lulling yourself into sleep. It's a story about this farmer who sows some seed, and then at the very end, Jesus says, listen up, basically. For those who have ears, let them hear. And it's interesting because the text says he yells it, right? So it's like, and then what I love the fact is that he says this degular story, as you put it, he says, listen up, for within this story are the secrets of the kingdom of God. Yeah. Wow.
Come on.
Right, so that's kind of cool. And then what happens after that?
Yeah, and so after that scene, this is one of the few times where Jesus actually explains a parable.
It's a very helpful parable, because he actually explains what it's all about. Yeah.
And so we kind of see from that, Jesus kind of presents 4 different kinds of hearts, right? There's the hardened heart, the shallow heart, the infested or divided heart, and then the good and noble heart. And he kind of just talks about what these look like and that those who are following Jesus are called to have a good and noble heart.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And it's interesting because the whole text is dealing with people's willingness to listen. The state of their heart, so that they will listen. Because it's one thing to gather around Jesus, big crowds, right? Because Jesus will always draw a crowd.
Yeah.
He's a popular type guy.
Yeah.
But Jesus knows the issue, and the issue is not so much gathering around me, but whether or not you will listen.
Yeah.
And whether or not you will listen depends on the state of your heart, right?
Yeah.
And so he lays that out, and so you got the hardened heart, which is the heart. How would you describe that one?
Yeah, the hardened heart, it's kind of, it's like they hear the word, right? And it just kind of falls flat.
Yeah. Just
right?
Bounces off.
Just bounces off. Like the way I kind of see it would be like the thought of death and eternity. Oh, that's too much for me to even think about.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to bother. Or sin.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's doing it, so why do I have to change?
Yeah, why you use such an outdated term, sin,
Exactly.
And that hardened heart, I don't know if you had this experience, but I mean, that was my heart for most of my life. People tell me about Jesus, would be like,
oh yeah.
It went nowhere. It went nowhere. Yeah. So you got the hardened heart, and then you got the shallow heart. What's going on there?
Yeah, the shallow heart is kind of like, he kind of explained it, how he explains it is like this: the heart that's kind of experienced like an emotional response to God's power, but not fully.
Yeah.
Right. Like it happens for a time, and I can kind of, how you said, the hardened heart. I think I can identify with all of them, but this is a big part of my story too, of like having a profound experience with Jesus, probably like 2009, and then for the next 15 years just not wanting to have anything to do with him. And so it's a lot of emotion that comes with it, but as life goes on, the pressures of the world come on, it kind of just withers away, and you just kind of accept, this is just the world is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. And then the third one is the you call it the divided heart, or the infested heart. And so what's that heart like?
Yeah, I think that's the heart that's has responded to God, but just kind of the exterior forces of, whether that be life's worries, right, anxieties of life, riches, pleasures, it kind of dampens just what God is doing. Does that make sense? Like, how would
it distracts you.
Distracts
it distracts you. Yeah. And it's interesting because what distracts is it's not so much anxiety over bad things, but it sort of is, but it's anxiety over losing things that you treasure.
And control.
I mean, and this is old stuff for Jesus for teaching, right? He talks about where is your treasure. And so, it's when we put our faith in our portfolio, in the stock market, or in everything going well, in our health, and all those things, they consume you with anxiety, and they choke out the life that Jesus wants us to have. Yeah. Which I get, which I wonder if you get as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have the last heart. The last one is, how did you describe it? The good and noble heart.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's kind of what they were. That's what my translation. What translation?
This is
CSB.
Yeah, this is one of the many translations out there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good and noble heart, and this is kind of the heart that responds to Jesus, right? And then to hearing.
Yeah. And allow the seed to go deep.
To deep and to produce. Yeah. Right. Like to bear much fruit.
Which we understand, the seed is the word of God. Jesus actually explains that to us.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess one of the questions I would ask you guys when you're talking about this is where is your heart? Where do you want your heart to be? But also talk about, all these other, the hard heart, the shallow heart, the divided heart, and then the receptive heart. And maybe explore, where have you been? Have you experienced all those hearts? What was that like? What is your desire? Yeah. And then maybe to spend some time praying that we would have that good and noble heart, the heart that would receive.
Come on, man.
Does that sound good? I will close things off.
Yes. Yeah, all right.
Thank you, Daniel, for today, and hope you guys have a great conversation. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Hope you enjoyed the teaching today. If you're wanting to follow along with the community group's discussion guide with your group, you can head to cachurch.ca/media, where you can find the discussion guide. Not only are there questions there related to the sermon, but there's also prayer prompts that relate to the passage or the topic that we were talking about, and practices that you can, on an individual level or a group level, begin integrating into your life to not only bring the knowledge into your mind, but to begin living it out.